Good morning, LA. Welcome back to another morning of AM Car Talk with your devoted hostess, Joella. Here on AM Car Talk, we get to share our thoughts and stories about the hell that is LA traffic. And boy, have we had a week. The 110 is crowded as ever, and the 710 has been gaining extra traffic due to street blockages and closures. To make things worse, accidents have been increasing. On my commute back home, I saw a wreck. An SUV had smashed into the freeway divider and nearly flipped itself. A sad sight, folks. Keep safe out there as you drive. Now, let's open up the lines. Welcome to AM Car Talk. Morning, Joella. What have you got for us today?
The craziest thing, Joella. I'm going back home. I live in Compton, and I'm taking the 5 to the 710 around 5:30.
The worst time. Rush hour, baby.
Yeah, but we all know the rules. Just common courtesy. If you know you need to be over, be over. Anyhow, that's what this is all about. I'm driving, and of course you know you can take the right 3 lanes. The second is good at first, the fastest, but it's the third you want to be in, the one that keeps going and splits off to the 710.
You sound like a pro.
Damn right. So, I get over into the third a bit away from the ramp, and I'm minding my own business, blasting my music, smoking a cig, when finally I get to the ramp. And you wouldn't believe this, but some yahoo brings his ass over, and he drives right up to me, nearly knocking into my car with his, trying to scoot his ass onto the ramp.
And did you let him?
Hell no.
Cold-blooded.
Nah. You see, he come up to where the ramp is lifting, and the white lines have separated the ramp from the 5. That's way too late, Joella. You know he had about 4 miles to get over, but people like him want to try and sneak their ass in last minute and cut everybody else off. The honest people who have waited for their chance to get on.
Yeah, I get you. So, this dude tries to cut you off, but doesn't succeed?
Not even in the slightest. I roll my window down and stick my head out, looking at him from the side of my neck with my nose scrunched like, "You really thought you had me, huh?" And boy, does he get pissed. Son of a bitch flips me off, and I give him the finger right back. I can see and hear him cursing. I drive up, though, and he gets in behind me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it wasn't over. We're on the ramp, and I can feel his eyes boring into me. I try to ignore him and get onto the 710, but this guy in his stupid-ass Fiat decides to follow me. I don't think he knew I was watching out, but I kept glancing in my rear view, and I can see him swerving in and out of traffic, keeping his eyes on me. He stays 2 cars back the entire time, jumping lanes so that he doesn't leave me. It begins to rain, though, so I roll my windows up, and good thing, too. Once traffic begins to let up a bit, he comes roaring up to the passenger side. He rolls his window down and chucks something hard at my window, scratching it.
Whoa, all that because you didn't let him in?
All that because I wouldn't let him cut me off. But it's all good. I'm on the lookout for his dumbass Fiat, keeping a brick in my back seat.
Okay, well, be careful out there, and thank you for sharing on AM Car Talk. Let's go to break. DJ, hit it. We're back. And the lines are open. Let's hear what you got, Angelitos. Hello, you're on. You're on AM Car Talk. Got a story to share?
Absolutely. It's not much, though.
That's okay. Everything is welcomed here.
This is about my son. And rather than being angry, I'm actually quite proud of it.
Do tell.
We were driving up towards Ventura on the 101.
Rush hour?
2 a.m.
Ah.
It was a family affair, a road trip of sorts. We were on the way to meet some friends of ours. You see, we have little get-togethers every so often, and we all think of each other as one big family. Normally, just me and my wife would go, but she was convinced our son was ready. And to my surprise, he was.
Ready for what?
Don't interrupt. It would take us a few hours to get to our destination. A small town, a quiet place I don't care to name. But we take back roads because we don't like a lot of attention. Some of these roads go through wooded areas. It's quite beautiful, but it's full of deer, those small Californian deer. What were they called? Well,
Mule deer?
yeah. We're driving in. Me and my wife were talking about the banquet and the extracurricular activities planned at our little reunion. When up ahead, one of those deer walks out onto the road.
Sounds like a close call.
I sped up and nailed the little bastard. Crunch.
That's interesting. Maybe we should take a short break.
I'm not done, Joella. See, this is why I'm proud. I smashed into that small deer and had planned to keep going, but my wife stopped me. She made me reverse and pull over. She looks back at our kid, barely 13, and tells him to get out. I see his face in the rearview mirror. He isn't ready, I tell her, and then something in his eyes change, and he gets out without a word. It's late and dark. We turn the flashlight of our phones on and light up the deer. It's all bloody and broken, making this odd, high-pitched whine. CJ, my wife says, and he turns around to see she's holding a knife. This was meant to be. My son looks at it, then to the deer. I think he must have understood by then. We'd been making him study the Book of the Beast since he could read. I thought he wasn't ready, but he took the knife. He looked nervous, sweaty. A part of me found it funny. A part of me thought, yeah, you better be. You're just a boy. You'll never be man enough. But I was wrong, Joella.
Were you?
Yeah, I was wrong, because he went to the deer and dropped to his knees. My boy sat there and then started to shake. He convulsed, and I could see his skin flush red and grow wet with sweat. I heard him speak. I feel it. I hear it. The beast below is calling me. I finally hear it." And then he began to cut the deer. He peeled its face like an apple, slicing through brown fur and skinning it while the thing screamed and bled. He cut till he ripped the fur of its head off, then slit its throat. When my son stood up and turned around, his face was red and brown with the piece of flesh he had taken and put on. He tilted his head back and spread his arms as if to show us the man he had become. I was overcome with pride and joy. My boy had become a man. My wife cried and took her mask out of her purse. She placed it on her face, the worn and yellowed mask of a cat with dried speckles of blood. And I adorned mine. Can you guess what it is?
No. A rat?
I fucking hate rats. No. Bear. A black bear mask. We all hugged, then got back into the car. We sped off faster than before, because now we had a new member to initiate, a new mask to give.
That's... yeah.
I know. Traffic, right?
Right. We'll be back with more AM Car Talk, folks, after these messages.